I'm also bringing here some documents that I would like shown on the overheads. How do we do this on the screen?
Just can bring them over there and put them on the... Okay. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that.
Okay, well, there's several of them. Speak to that. I just want to make certain, oops, thank you, that those at home taping have a chance to pause. Let's see this. I'm sorry, how does this work? This one? Say goodbye. It's going to focus. I heard to that. Okay.
Yeah, you're in the right spot.
Okay, great. I'm spot on. Is it good down there? I don't know.
This is how you watch out DFL. This is none of my
Great.
notes.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
Choose a hardcore DFL. This is all the two together. This is a affiliation. This is a DFL. So, somebody else is.
What does this have to do with the current discussion?
What's posted right now is an email that I wrote to City Council after the January 20th Environment and Natural Resources Commission. This is when Ms. Hanskamp presented the stopgap ordinance, the material she presented to you. I immediately, after the meeting, sent an email to City Council regarding, and the topic is improper actions at the Tuesday, January 20th Environment and Natural Resources Commission meeting. I sent that on Wednesday the 21st. I have my notes there and I can go over that, and a few hours later I got a response from Mr. Nephew saying that he is going to dismiss me from the Environment and Natural Resources Commission. He apparently didn't CC everyone on City Council, various individuals. And I want to speak to that because my impression is that I am being dismissed because I asked questions at the January... I'm talking about this meeting. Yes, so do I.
That's what we're doing now.
Madam Mayor?
Are you, you're talking about your Environmental Natural
I'm talking
Resource
about the
Commission
Environment
meeting?
and Natural Resources Commission meeting where Ms. Hanskamp did a presentation. I want to address that.
And how it relates to this
Yes,
item
yes,
we're...
I will.
All right, and
Can I
so,
do that?
so fine, let's stick to this.
I am. Okay. So basically on this, I, as a commissioner, asked several questions regarding the presentation at our commission meeting, Mr. Rosbach.
Good.
Okay? What has happened in the past happened on January 20th, and you notice that the Environment and Natural Resources Commission meetings aren't presented to you. As mentioned in the email, and I'm certain you read it, my comments and questions are cleansed from the record. Now, Mr. Nephew indicates that majority rule determines this, so the minority vote has been excluded. And let me talk about this, okay? In the questions at the meeting, I question the contractor credentials, disclosure, and also at the meeting.
Madam Mayor, point of order, she's not talking on the topic, she's talking around the topic.
Mr. Rosbach,
Point of order,
please quit
Madam Mayor.
interrupting. I think it's my understanding she is trying to discuss what happened at her meeting and that they analyzed whatever they analyzed. And sometimes...
What happened at her meeting has no bearing on the topic that's
Let me
here
get to
because due to the fact of what happened at their meeting, they didn't discuss this topic. And so that is not the topic, talking about why they didn't talk about it.
I'm sorry, you had the wrong meeting.
Mr. Rosbach, I think I saw this, the meeting, that particular meeting, and they did discuss it, and it's my understanding that the version that they had was different than what they looked at the Planning Commission. So I don't know.
Okay, this is the issue that the version, we didn't have the complete version. I did go to the Planning Commission and present this. And what happened was, at the meeting, we did not get the full version. So I'm not certain what the full version is, but on January 20th, on that date, and again, I sent the email out on that, that we did not get the version. It was not disclosed to us, and I was blamed for not having the meeting because someone in staff didn't schedule a meeting correctly. Anyway, on that, there were several items, and one of them was regarding the credits, okay? That the contractor would be given credits for not developing on land the contractor wasn't supposed to develop on. I'm not certain if that's going to be disclosed in the minutes, and that's why I'm coming here to make certain that you hear that directly from me, that I question that, and there was discussion on that. The next item that I mentioned and questioned about was the slopes. I'm hearing about slopes. The Environment Commission was reviewing an ordinance on slopes, and I brought up at the commission my concern about the amount of erosion going into the air. It was an extremely high amount, and I questioned whether or not that was appropriate for certain areas that might be part of the critical area of Fish Creek. And I want to make certain that this is brought up on the slopes, that I did present that issue, and I also did present the issue on credits. This was provided in, presented in the meeting, and again on the meeting on, well, right afterwards, as I said before, and it's on record there, I had several questions, including when we have consultants and contractors, and I've come to City Council on that before, it's not disclosed as to who their investors are and so forth and so on. And after the meeting, I did get some faxes sent to me that Ms. Hamskamp company does do developing, consulting, and so forth and so on, and I wish that had been presented ahead of time. My concern is I'm not certain in terms of the credits, the lack of disclosure, as to who is speaking for you, if it's a consultant for the city, a consultant for an individual, or a consultant for another group of investors. And I did not say that she was part of COPAR. I'm just saying we don't have the facts here. At the Environment and Natural Resources Commission that we just held and was adjourned, it did not have to be adjourned, and I do not want to be blamed for that. The business could have been conducted. I would have appreciated receiving a copy, the current copy at that point, and looking at it as thoroughly as I did on the January 20th, so that I would have had an opportunity to discuss it with the commissioners as to whether other items need to be addressed. Again, I'm really concerned about the wording for credits, and I'm really concerned about the wording for slopes. We haven't discussed the rest of this, but I probably would have the same concerns, and I think the council really needs to listen to the discussions that will eventually take place when the Environment and Natural Resources Commission meets again, because we did have some thorough discussions. You don't have the minutes in front of you. We had some really, really great discussions. I haven't heard them brought up at this meeting. Again, you don't have the minutes. And I'm sorry they didn't want to continue with their meeting. But please don't blame me for everything. Thank you.
I have a quick question for staff. Can you give us an update on where we're at with looking at the slope preservation ordinance at this point?
Madam Mayor, Council, I'd have to get back to you, but I do believe that is on the agenda at the next meeting, and I believe it's the 18th of February. So, and I believe there's a meeting, and then after that meeting concludes, there'll be a joint meeting between the Environmental and Natural Resource Commission and the Park Commission, and that subject matter may come up there as well.
Okay. So my question then with regard to looking at this ordinance,